Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. Today I'm going to talk to you about things to do to make sure your offer and compromise get accepted. I was a former agent. I've worked thousands of cases. I worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 40 years. I've been doing this 50 years. I'm a national expert. I've been on all the major news stations. Check out my website at 777irs.com. I've been on Fox twice, ABC, The Briefing Room, Newsmax, News Nation, NBC, CBS, and more important, my team at 777irs.com. So if you want to sorry, struggling with a little bit of a cold here. If you want to get your offer and compromise accepted, there's just a couple things you need to do. I don't spend a lot of time going over these. I used to work offers and compromise, so I know them well. If you want your offer accepted, you got to really go to someone like me who really is an expert. Peter Salinger in my office has worked about 3,500, or looked at him because he was a former agent also accepting offers. But for those of you who are going to try to do this by yourself, you always want to write a cover letter, no more than a page and a half. Explain why you want the offer to go through. You know, when you're an agent, you just look at one after the other, after the other, after the other. It's like, oh, God. But all of a sudden, you see a little letter, and it adds color to the offer. So that's something that you want to do. Add a cover letter. Not a lot. If there's documentations or the documentation or exhibits you want to say, hey, I broke my arm, I had problems at a catastrophe, I'll never be able to pay it without IRS crying, send it in. Make sure you know the formula. Most people don't know the offer and compromise formula. It's just very simple. You cannot submit an offer and compromise less than the value of the total of your assets. So if you have a house that had $50,000 equity and a pension that had $30,000 equity, you can't submit an offer any less than $80,000. IRS is not going to discount anything. They're going to take the full value of your equities and everything, cars, like I said, houses, everything. That's your base offer and compromise. You're not going to go lower than that. Then IRS wants to know what your income is, and they want to know what your expenses are. But you're not going to be allowed your expenses. IRS is going to allow their expenses set up by the Department of Labor. So if you don't know what the IRS national standards are, don't bother to go ahead and do the offer because you're not going to get accepted. Make sure you have the right documentation. If you don't, IRS is going to kick back the offer. Make sure everything is signed correctly, or IRS is going to kick back the offer. And lastly, you want to make sure all your tax returns are filed and you're current and up to date. So right now, if we're in September right now in 2023 and you're self-employed, all your estimate payments have got to be up to date. If not, they're going to kick the offer back. If you don't have enough withholding and IRS sees it, they're going to kick the offer back. So whatever you're doing, you have to be current and flush on everything. You have to understand the program, understand the formula that I explained, and then good luck. But you're never going to get your lowest offer and compromise because you don't know the system. You can try, you may get an offer through, but you ain't going to settle it the way former IRS agents will. But good luck to you. Give me a subscription if you would. If you call our office, you'll speak directly to me. Thank you so much.